Up, Canada. It is October 20th, 2025, and boy, the authoritism here in Canada does not stop. So, Canada's free speech is under attack today. Conservatives urged to soften a stance after Pierre's comments on despicable RCMP face backlash. The opposition leader's office instructed Conservative MPs on Monday to reinforce a more positive message about the nation's police force. So apparently we can't even be blunt about the corruption in this country anymore, even if it's right in front of our noses. The Conservatives are being asked to speak more positive. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not around, to be a Mr. Nice Guy, to speak nice about people. If there's corruption, we should be able to bluntly say it. I mean, I would. I mean, we had 10 years of corrupt liberal jackasses. And unfortunately, we're stuck with another, God forbid, 1, 2, maybe 4 at the worst, more years of more liberal jackasses. This is what Pierre had to say about the corrupt RCMP last week.
The leader of the federal Conservative Party not one to mince words when talking about former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. And although Trudeau is no longer in power, Pierre Polyaev continues to share his thoughts on the former Liberal leader's track record. Joining us now is our Parliament Hill correspondent Glenn McGregor in Ottawa. Glenn, Polyaev is now not just questioning Trudeau, but the RCMP.
Yeah, this is sort of an interesting development. I think we've got to, before we talk about this, let's rewind the tape a little bit here, Faiza, back to the election campaign. Remember, Pierre Polyaev, the Conservative leader, was put in sort of an awkward position because he had to really disavow Trump, which has suddenly become the U.S. Canada's relationship with the United States. And the tariffs that Trump had imposed became the dominant issue and allowed Mark Carney to win the election campaign. Since then, there's been an expectation that Polyaev might pivot his tone. He might try and take some of the rough edges off, present sort of a more amenable, nicer, open tone, and back away from some of the comparisons that some people have made to his policies and, crucially, his style to Donald Trump. Polyaev has disavowed that. He says, listen, I'm nothing like Donald Trump. He's rejected this Maple MAGA label that some people have put on him. But in the recent weeks, he really seems to be leaning in, at least stylistically and to a certain extent on policy, of some of the things that Donald Trump has done. He has called for, and his party has called for, an end to birthright citizenship. That is, people who were born to foreign nationals but born on Canadian soil automatically get Canadian citizenship. That's something that Donald Trump eliminated, and he tried to eliminate in the United States. There's still a constitutional challenge of it almost immediately after his inauguration. Now, Polyaev is pushing the same policy.
It's not mega. It's common sense. Our immigration system is gone through the roof thanks to these liberal jackasses. We can't have foreign entities come into this country just to have babies, get citizenships. It's crazy. We need to get rid of the immigration around here. I mean, we have no houses. We barely have an economy. It's on life support at this moment. And what are the liberals doing? Bringing more people in here so they could just have babies and automatically get citizenships. That's not the way it should be right now. We should be closing our borders. We should have no immigration at all. We can't handle it. We don't need it. And we really need to get back down and just tear this country apart and build it back up from the studs again. Like, that's what needs to happen. We need to rebuild this country because right now, this country's a cesspool. It's not Polyaev trying to be mega or trying to be like Trump. It's called common freaking sense. I apologize. My computer's being slow.
Polyaev also tweeting out something this week about diversity, equity, conclusion, saying it has to stop. This was a major issue for Donald Trump, especially with the universities in the United States going after them, threatening to cut off funding if they used any of the money to support DEI programs or DEI related staff in their universities. Now Polyaev saying he'd like to do that. And now he's basically advancing this theory about, during a podcast interview that he did recently, about the RCMP, alleging that they are essentially covering up for past Liberal governments. Listen to what he said on this podcast.
Many of the scandals of the Trudeau era should have been involved jail time. I mean, Trudeau broke the criminal code when he took a free vacation from someone with whom he had government business. It's just like, it's right there in the criminal code. If the RCMP had been doing its job and not covering up for him, then he would have been criminally charged. And again, he probably violated the criminal code in the SNC-Lavalin scandal.
He didn't probably. He did. He violated everything. I mean, this guy has broken every law and seems to still be above the law.
These would normally have led to criminal charges, but of course the RCMP covered it all up, and the leadership of the RCMP is just frankly just despicable when it comes to enforcing laws against the Liberal government.
So let's unpack that a little bit. The leader of the official opposition calling Canada's National Police Force despicable.
And that's what they want the Conservatives to go back on. They think despicable is too harsh of a word. I think it's a perfect word. In fact, I could think of 50 other words to call the RCMP right now and the Liberal government just from the top of my head, and that's a lot worse than the word despicable. What do you think? Anyways, Canada, I'm going to leave it up to you. What do you think here? Should the leaders of the RCMP be replaced? And if so, should Trudeau go to jail for breaking the law? I mean, nobody's above the law, right? Anyways, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye for now.